Well. Look who is back in town. Look who is here doing a podcast yet again. It is your boy Gun Hill Bane, and this is the first episode of the Gun Hill Bane podcast, only on YouTube, where I will discuss everything and anything. Matter if it's anime, it doesn't matter if it's football, it doesn't matter if it's pro wrestling. I'll give you the nitty gritty. I will give you the truth. I will give you everything that I can tell you. And you will accept it. That's all there is to it. Right now, I just finished watching Dynamite. All right. I just finished watching Dynamite from last night, October 29th. Man, oh man. You know what? I got to tell you, it's been 6 years since AEW has blessed us with their hardcore crazy, out of this world type of wrestling, the type of wrestling that I truly love, really, because it's like it's fast paced, it's smash mouth, it's in your face. It's not like the WWE at all. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I mean, people love the WWE. It's all great. People love huge crowds and sing-alongs, right, and nostalgia. All the major players basically and whatever story that they can build out, even though ever since the bloodline story kind of ended, everything just at for the WWE. Maybe that's why they lost so many viewers over time. That and the high ticket sales, and just the you had to go through so much red tape just to see a PLE. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Thank God for AEW, which sticks close to what wrestling is to me. Wrestling, right? Doesn't matter what type of style of wrestling that they put out, no matter how violent, no matter how crazy, it's still wrestling to me. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate everything what they do. And with that being said, looking into Dynamite, and let me be honest with you, I'm not going to be a kiss ass or anything. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. Sometimes I would offend some people if I don't like a certain segment from AEW or anything like that, but it's only for a learning experience and not to put it down. We're not going to be one of those podcasts who just talk shit about AEW all the time because it's fantastic. It's great. All right. We know this. Real wrestling fans know this. The fans who have a mind of their own, they know this. All right. So, with that being said, last night it was Halloween Fright Night, right? And then it all kicked off with a trick or treat tornado match. Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Daniel Garcia, Wheeler Yuta. One thing I can take away from that match is Wheeler Yuta sitting on the chair and Darby Allin bulldozing him out to the outside. I mean, it's as chaotic as you can actually think. Tables were involved, coffin drops all over the place. It was crazy. And you know what? Darby Allin and Cassidy, they did well with each other. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really into the whole lackadaisical, lazy type of look from Orange Cassidy. I know for some it's probably great. And you know what? It suits him. It suits him, and his wrestling style is just, I don't know. Just looks cartoony to me. If that is the case. But I'm not discrediting the fact that he is a fantastic athlete, fantastic performer. Daniel Garcia, Yuta, you know what? They're just typical fall guys, really. They don't really move the needle in terms of that, but they're great for filler purposes. It's great for Darby Allin and Cassidy to be able to get the win over there. But it was a violent and it was pretty cool. It was a good thing. It was a great startup match for the people in that arena to get themselves hyped, and that's all you can ask for it. And then the number one contenders match: FTR versus Jet Speed. versus Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks. You notice they're getting all of the major tag team matches out the way first, so they could be able to, tell the story as they are. And it feels to me that Don Callis is trying to recruit the Young Bucks into the Don Callis family because he hooked them up with the pyro. He hooked them up with the great intro, and trust me, the Bucks love that. They were a little surprised by the amount of pyrotechnics they got from their entrance. So that was actually. I thought that this match was fun. Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. They're just fantastic. They do all these UFO splashes. I mean, crazy. I mean, it was just wall over the place. Dax Harvard, Cash Wheeler, they were the smart technician type of wrestlers in that entire match. I mean, we forgot about Jungle Boy and not Jungle Boy, Jungle Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus. And look, can I just say something? Luchasaurus, he had pneumonia, right? That's why he was out for more than a year. He looks great. He was hitting some big man moves, and you know what? He was hitting the gym. He just looked more jacked now than the last time I saw him over a year ago. So shout out to him. I'm happy that he's healthy and he can be able to do what he loves again. That's amazing. You know? But as a way, it's all about storyline here, and FTR got the win, so they're gonna be the ones facing Bro Dito at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, November the 22nd, full year. My bold prediction about this is that as much as I love Rodito, I think that their title reign is coming to an end. I think it's time for FTR to take those titles and, bring it to some new heights. Brodito, but I feel torn about it because I also feel that, this run of Brodito and Brodito is it hasn't really ran its course yet. I feel that they could just go for at least a couple of more pay-per-views before they eventually drop the titles to someone. But if that's not the case, if Full Gear is going to be the last time we see those guys as tag team titles, what better way for them to go out than to go up against one of the most decorated tag teams all of professional wrestling and FTR? And trust me, the way that FTR handles big time money tag team matches, no doubt in my mind, is going to be a classic. It's already it's shaping up to be a fantastic pay-per-view, much better than Wrestle Dream. And I'm not taking anything away from Wrestle Dream. I thought it was a great pay-per-view. But in terms of the hype and everything surrounding it, coming into Wrestle Dream, it just felt like a B-level pay-per-view at most, which is a high bar considering they have been knocking it out of the park with pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view since January. And every event that they have is absolutely fantastic. So for Wrestle Dream to be singled out as like the low bar of that's nothing to be ashamed of. That's still a high ceiling that they had to climb at. But Full Gear, that looks incredible. I'm hoping to get tickets for that. And then what else? What else? Oh, the Don Callis Family Summit. Well, Don Callis had his whole entire family and wanted to clear the air of what was going on between Takeshita and Okada. Apparently, Takeshita had some travel issues and he couldn't make it initially to the summit. But Rocky Romero, he stood up. He presented everyone with a brand new painting of all these stars in the Don Callis family, naked, half naked, with Don Callis standing in the middle, half naked. Everyone with abs, everyone with looking like Chisel Adonis. It's amazing. I would love to know who is the painter. Like, who is the actual painter who created this shit? because it's like it's hella talented, very talented, you know. And Josh Alexander, he presented a huge dramatic video package highlighting the group's dominance thus far. And trust me, they're dominant. They remind me of the NWO, right? Only this time, these guys are like big name. These guys can actually work. You know? These guys can actually work matches, and all of them are very prestigious. They have their own accolades of their very own. So I really love that. Speaking of which, Kyle Fletcher, he was about to talk about the oath they all have to sign to join, promising loyalty to Don Callis and the Don Callis family. Or he was able to finish it. Out comes Take Man. Out comes Takeshita. He arrived late to the party, and his eyes were just like beaming right towards Okada. And Don Callis, he tried to negate the situation. It reminded him that while the Alpha, you know, let's face it, he wants him and Okada to shake hands. He reminded Takeshita that before he got him, he was the Alpha, but now he has a whole family full of Alphas, and they're gonna fight and they're gonna try to preserve dominance. But this is what is expected in the Don Callis family. So what he wants is for Takeshita and Okada to shake hands. And after a few reluctant instances, Takeshita was reluctant enough to shake, to extend his hand to Okada. And Okada, became Okada and gave him the finger. And that was about it. The tensions are rising. If this goes into full gear between Takeshita and Okada, I will not be mad at it. However, if they can just hold it off for just one more month, and have it pushed towards World's End, because think about it. The C2, the Continental Classic, is going to take place at World's End, right? So there's going to be another tournament for the Unified Championship, which Okada currently holds. How great of a main event this will be if you have Takeshita, the current G1 Climax tournament champion, going up against the greatest tournament champion of all time in Okada in the finals of the C2. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That will be cinema personified in that. I have a feeling that TK is going to blow his load. Before full gear. But I really, really, really hope that he holds this off until the C2 final. Because that will be masterful. That will be a chef's kiss completely. So let's see what happens. I hope they do that. All right. And let me see. Jon Moxley, Maria Shafir versus Kyle O'Reilly. Great match, Nothing, nothing to see out of the ordinary. It just seems a little bit rushed. It's nothing crazy. But I noticed something during that fight. Marina Shafir wasn't really going after Kyle O'Reilly that much. I don't know why. Meanwhile, Kyle O'Reilly almost got Jon Moxley into another submission. And if I remember correctly here, Jon Moxley tapped out to Hangman Adam Page at All In. Tapped out to Darby Allin at Wrestle Dream. This guy gotta be pissed off. Why are you taking 2 L's via submission, John? I mean, you're the badass Jon Moxley. You shouldn't be giving up. You shouldn't be quitting. You should have been knocked out cold, damn near dead. That's you. That's you. Not, oh, I'm gonna give up the fight another day. No, that's not you, John. That's Dean Ambrose. That's not you, Hon. We gotta fix that. But then, Kyle O'Reilly got him in a submission on the outside of the ring. Aubrey Edwards decided to call off, either count out. Crowd was yanning bullshit. And Marina Shafir is like, you know what? We're not going to have this bullshit. So she just knocked her out. She knocked the referee out. And then came out of nowhere, Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli blindsided Kyle O'Reilly with an amazing European. And now all hell is just breaking loose. Then you have Roderick Strong coming in, and then Darby Allin comes in, and then Mark Briscoe comes in, and of course Orange Cassidy comes in, and you know what Mark Briscoe says? He has a solution to all of this going on, and then he gave the mic to Orange Cassidy, who just reluctantly say, "Ugh, blood and guts." William Regal must be rolling in his grave right now if he wasn't still alive. So, but yes, Blood and Guts will feature the entire Death Riders. That will be Moxley, Pac, Wheeler Yuta, and Daniel Garcia and Claudio Castagnoli against the team of Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Darby Allin. Now, if I was TK, if I was Tony, Blood and Guts, you turn Roderick Strong heel and have him join the Death Riders. Why did I say that? It seems to me that this is going to be an ongoing thing between the Death Riders and the conglomerate. Right? It's going to feel very awkward during this entire feud. We see Marina Shafir, vaguely smiling at her husband, which is Roderick Strong. I don't know if any of y'all know that, but Marina Shafir is Roderick Strong's actual, in real life, wife. It's his real wife. So, and you see him being reluctant, being in the conglomeration. I can't even. So I'm thinking maybe Roderick Strong is going to turn against conglomeration and join the Death Rider. And then he can be able to work matches alongside his wife. It's a beautiful done deal, a match made in hell. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It will get rid of the awkwardness, and it will give Roderick Strong something to do because he just seems now like there, just there in the wind. Yeah, there's no substance to him. Most of it is his fault. Most of it probably TK's fault about the way he books certain people, but that's either here or there. I truly feel that with Roderick Strong being part of the Death Riders and being alongside Marina Shafir, it will help elevate his career a little bit as a heel. We'll see. We'll see. That's my wishful thinking. I think that will actually work in the long run, but we shall see. Either way, we're getting a men's blood and guts match, or we're going to get a women's blood and guts match. I don't even know if it actually has been accepted. And the reason I say that is because Penelope Ford got injured, in a random collision. So now she can't no longer compete for the tag team titles. I wonder if Tony Khan was thinking that he specifically wanted her to become part of Blood and Guts. And now, with this injury happen, do they just scrap the whole thing altogether? Or are we going to have men's and women's Blood and Guts matches? Come November, was it November 16th? Whatever the case may be. Needless to say, speaking of that, we went to the World Tag Title Tournament, the Women's Tag Title Tournament between Jamie Hayter, Queen Namanata, versus the Sisters of Sin. I didn't know what to call this match because the Sisters of Sin has been there for a long, long time as a tag team. And Queen Namanata and Jamie Hayter, they was just like thrown together. Now that I'm really thinking about this out loud, this was the right move for the Sisters of Sin to pick up the win here. And even more so, to have Tekla come out of nowhere and spear Jamie Hayter, costing them the tag team, tournament. So that feud is far from over between Jamie Hayter, Tekla, and the Sisters of Sin and everyone else involved. So maybe we will get a blood and guts match, but it hasn't been truly official yet. My guess is they're going to look to see how things play out in the tag team tournament first before they make any big announcement regarding a blood and guts match for the women. But we shall see. We shall see. And then Chris Statlander, by the way, she was dressed up as Goku Black. For those who watch Dragon Ball Super, that was hella cool. But she got blindsided by Mercedes Moné. She dragged her into the ring. Statlander got the upper hand. And then out comes Athena. Started wailing on Chris Statlander. And Monet gave her the backstabber. Athena gave her the old face. And it's looking like, this is going to be a formidable tag team. And then out comes Willow Nightingale and Cameron and Harley Cameron. I really don't want them to lose. I really don't want them to lose their first tournament against Monet and Athena, but it seems like that's where it's leading to because, my God, you got to give the woman what she wants, right? God forbid that she loses the first round, to anybody that's Miss Mercedes Moné. So it seems, and it's taking place in Houston, Texas, right? So that's Athena's hometown. So if they don't go over in that match, color me shocked. I will be extensively shocked at the outcome. No. I think that Monet and Athena are going to win that tournament match next week. They're going to be moving on to the semifinal. To much to the dismay of the entire IWC fan base, who apparently hates Monet's guts, calling her, Monet Hogan or whatever the hell her name is, saying that she has creative control, saying she has way too many belts. The belts don't even matter. They're from places no one cares about. Who gives a shit? Someone cares about those belts. Someone cares about those promotions. All because you slack-jawed yokel won't take the time to research any of these aforementioned, wrestling organizations from all over the world doesn't mean that they're not loved by somebody. They spend a good amount of money to make sure that Monet is their champion for the foreseeable future because it helps with their business. See, it works all over the place. And on top of that, Monet is scouting the next talent for AEW. Why do you think that Tony Khan is allowing her to go all over the world and just win titles left and right? She is scouting them. She's trying to see who will be best suited to become part of the AEW roster. This is what she meant by, revolutionizing women's wrestling forever. She is setting the bar. Like it or not, she's setting the bar there. So, I don't know what else to tell you. But the last match, it was Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, Samoa Joe, and Hook. Poor Hook. Hook is like, he's the kid surrounded by old men. I mean, I want to say that Ricochet is an old man compared to Bobby Lashley and Samoa Joe, but if you compare all those three to Hook, yeah, he's an old man, right? There were even times where I felt that Hook was a little bit overzealous and try to really get too hot into the fight, and Bobby Lashley had to, like, you know, shut him down. You tell him, chill, behave. You know, like a father trying to discipline his son. If that's what I want to say about it. And then there was some wild action back and forth. Of course, GOA got involved. So he got involved big time in terms of costing Bobby Lashley the win. I have a huge feeling that Bobby Lashley, I don't know if it's going to be at World's End. I don't know if it's going to be at Revolution, but I definitely see Bobby Lashley in the main event for the AEW Championship. I just don't know when, and I don't know against who. That's what's going to happen come Full Gear when we have Samoa Joe versus Hangman Adam Page. Part 2, determine who is the AEW champion. Now, Hangman Page is not facing a tweener, a heel face Samoa Joe. No, he's going against full blown Samoa Joe. And then Tony Schiavone just felt the need to have a contract signing. I mean, the man just won a fucking match. Pardon my French. He just won a freaking match. He's exhausted. And now you're going to let him sign, and then you have these goofs coming out in the marshmallow, one of the marshmallow Stay Puft costume and all that stuff, which people remember in AEW lore around Halloween. I think it was last year or the year after that. Hangman Adam Page, he was dressed up as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So that made Samoa Joe very weary. And he started attacking him. And then he go onto the mic, say what he needed to say, that he's going to be, that he'll beat Hangman Adam Page, and it's all good. And Tony Schiavone basically said, okay, we're going to pose a toast. We're going to propose a toast to the match, the main event. Mojo versus Hangman Adam Page at Full Gear, presented by DC. They have to put that advertisement in there, presented by DC. Full Gear, presented by DC. But then, when everyone thought it was Tony Schiavone in that Phantom of the Opera mask, it turns out to be Hangman Adam Page, and he beat the living crap out of all these guys in his career way. By the way, fantastic costume. I would never expect in my wildest dreams that Hangman Page can make a very convincing Tony Schiavone. It's amazing. It is amazing what a wig and a mask can do to 100% look the part. So I like that. I like that. That was fun. So what have we learned? What have we learned from watching Dynamite last? We got a blood and guts match all ready to go. There's a possible female blood and guts match on the horizon. It hasn't been announced as of yet, but we still got plenty of time before it manifests. I dread seeing Athena and Monet as tag team champions because that will mean that, Monet has another belt to call her own. I also believe that Monet will lose in her fight against Statlander, and thus will begin the downward spiral of her losing all these belts and just having to go insane. And I think what's going to happen, is that somewhere along the way, something's going to happen, and it's going to cost Athena and Monet the tag team championship. And Athena is going to blame Monet for it, or Monet is going to blame Athena for it. One of them is going to turn against each other. And I think, come Full Gear, Athena will interfere in that match between Monet and Chris Statlander and cause this woman the championship. And that will lead to, once again, another feud between Athena and Mercedes Moné at World's End, in which Athena becomes the brand new TBS champion. That's how I call it. When it comes to Hangman Adam Page and Samoa Joe, I feel that Hangman Page is going to win this. And I feel that come World's End is going to be Heyman Adam Page versus Bobby Lashley. That's one match that no one has seen yet. I feel that that would be absolutely fantastic. Well, that's about it. That's my podcast. How about that? Do me a favor. Like, subscribe, give me feedback, what you like about the podcast, what you don't like about the podcast, what you like something change about the podcast. Just let me know. I love feedback. Feedback is amazing. And I hope we can do more of these videos as the days and the weeks just go by, because you know what? I need money. This is gonna be my journey in terms of me, being monetized. So money's good. Money, especially in this day and age, right? This spectrum. We need all the money we can get. Anyway, this is Gun Hill Bane signing off. Yeah, see you. See you next week.